English podcast.
From Learn English with Joy. Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Learn English with Joy. We're so happy you're here with us today. Whether you're walking to work, sipping coffee at home, or just relaxing after a long day, thank you for pressing play.
Absolutely. It means a lot that you're joining us again. Last time, we talked about how your brain works when learning new words, and wow, the feedback was amazing.
Yeah, so many of you shared how those little changes in your study habits made a big difference. So today, we've got something really fun and personal to share.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever learned a new English word just because it appeared in a song you loved? Maybe you didn't even try to remember it, but it stuck in your head anyway.
Or maybe you were watching a movie with English subtitles and suddenly, boom, you understood what the character was saying and it just made sense.
Okay, story time. I still remember the first time I heard the song We Will Rock You by Queen. I had no idea what the lyrics meant, but that beat? Unforgettable. And the line, "You got mud on your face," that stuck with me.
That's a classic. For me, it was Finding Nemo. I was watching it with subtitles, and Dory kept saying, "Just keep swimming." I didn't know the grammar or vocabulary at the time, but somehow I understood her.
And now we both remember those words years later.
Exactly. So here's the big question. Why do we remember those things? Song lyrics, movie lines, longer than the words we read in textbooks.
Maybe it's the music, maybe it's the emotion, or maybe it's the story.
That's what today's episode is all about. How music, movies, and stories can help you learn English faster and actually enjoy the process.
Today, we'll show you how to turn your favorite entertainment into your best English teacher.
We'll share personal stories, simple science, easy-to-remember vocabulary, and our favorite tips to help you learn without pressure.
So get ready. This episode might just change how you study English forever. Let me take you back to when I was in middle school. It was a rainy afternoon, and my friends and I were gathered in the school's music room. I had just learned about Queen, and I remember the first time I heard We Will Rock You. The beat was loud, and the lyrics hit me like a wave, especially the line, "You got mud on your face." At the time, I had no idea what mud or shame meant, but the way they said it stayed with me. The word mud instantly painted a picture in my mind. I could see someone with mud on their face, embarrassed and wiping it off. And the word face, that was easy to connect to because, well, we all have faces. It was the rhythm of the song and the imagery that helped me remember those words long after the song was over. Every time I heard the song again, those words mud and face just stuck.
That's such a cool story, Chris. For me, my first experience with learning English from entertainment was with the animated movie Finding Nemo. I was watching it with subtitles, and the phrase, "just keep swimming," stood out to me right away. It felt so simple, yet so powerful. Dory, the fish, kept repeating it over and over, and I could feel the encouragement in her voice. I didn't even have to think too hard about the words. What's interesting is that I didn't just learn the phrase because it was in the subtitles. I learned it because I felt it. I could imagine myself in the water, just like Dory, pushing through. Her words became part of me. I wasn't memorizing them. They were being absorbed into my brain because of the emotion and the context in which they were said. It wasn't about the exact translation or how I had to practice the phrase over and over. It was about the connection to the scene, the emotions that came with it, and the repetition. "Just keep swimming" became a phrase I use to keep going when things are tough, and I didn't even try to memorize it.
I love that, Emily. And I think there's a key lesson we can take from both of our stories. Entertainment gives us memory hooks. When we learn English through music or movies, we aren't just memorizing words, we're connecting them with something bigger, a melody, a scene, a feeling. Those emotional and sensory connections make the words stick. When we learn words in these contexts, they feel real, not abstract. You're not just learning a random word from a list, but rather, You're connecting it to something you can see and feel. That's why we remember those words more easily. They're not just words. They are part of a bigger story that's stuck in our heads.
Exactly, Chris. And it's not just about repeating vocabulary over and over again. It's about engaging your brain in a way that feels natural, exciting, and connected to real-life situations. So now, let's dive into the next part of our podcast. Why does this kind of learning work so well? What happens in our brains when we learn through entertainment?
When we think about how we remember things, we realize something important. Emotion and images make a huge difference in how well we remember information. Our brains are wired to remember things that are connected to emotions or visual imagery. Have you ever noticed that you can remember the lyrics of a song much better than a word you read in a textbook? The reason for that is simple. Our brain stores emotional and sensory experiences more effectively. When we connect a word to a strong image or feeling, it sticks in our memory longer. For example, when you hear a song like Let It Be, the melody and the emotional tone of the music help you remember the words, the images of the song, the rhythm, and even the associations with the artist's voice create a vivid mental picture.
Exactly. And when we're watching movies or listening to songs, the language isn't isolated. It's used in real-life contexts, filled with emotions, actions, and characters. This makes the words come to life. It's so different from learning from a list of words in a textbook, which can feel dull and disconnected.
That leads us to an important concept called repeat exposure. This is the idea that the more often you encounter a word or phrase, the better your brain remembers it. Think about it. When you hear a song, you often listen to it over and over again. Every time you hear it, you're repeating the words without even realizing it.
Exactly. And this is where immersion comes in. When you're immersed in English, whether it's through songs, movies, or conversations, you're constantly exposed to the language in natural settings. This repeated exposure in a relaxed, enjoyable way helps your brain absorb words without the pressure of memorizing them.
When you're immersed in English, it's like you're living the language, not just studying it, and that's the key to mastering it.
Now, let's talk about a super effective technique called shadowing. This is a method where you repeat what you hear right away. For example, if you're watching a movie or listening to a song, you immediately shadow the character or singer.
It's like you're copying them. This helps improve your pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. And it's not just about repeating words. You're training your brain to react naturally when speaking.
Shadowing helps you connect sounds and words in your brain, so when you speak, you're not just remembering isolated words. You're thinking and speaking fluidly. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, just like mimicking the rhythm of a song you've sung 100 times.
Exactly. It's a fun way to train your brain to speak with confidence and accuracy.
So, as we've seen, learning through entertainment isn't just enjoyable. It's scientifically proven to be effective. The combination of emotion, images, and repeated exposure helps you absorb and retain new vocabulary, making it a natural part of your language learning journey.
Absolutely. And the best part? You're not just memorizing words, you're living them.
Now, let's explore how music and movies aren't just fun, but can truly help transform the way you learn English.
When it comes to learning English, songs offer some of the best opportunities to practice. And the best part? They don't feel like studying. Songs are full of things that help your English. First off, listening to music helps with pronunciation. Think about it. When you hear a song, the rhythm, the melody, and the intonation of the singer's voice teach you how to say words in a natural, fluid way.
Exactly. And songs often have connected speech, meaning that words flow into each other in ways that aren't always obvious from just reading a text. When you sing along, you start mimicking those patterns. It's not just about saying the words, it's about learning how to say them the way native speakers do.
And let's not forget the power of vocabulary retention. Songs are repetitive. You hear the same words over and over, which makes them stick in your memory. Plus, songs use simple, everyday language, making them a great tool for learning basic grammar structures without feeling like you're in class.
Now, let's talk about some great songs for learners at the beginner and intermediate levels. These songs are simple, but they also offer some great lessons.
First up, Count on Me by Bruno Mars. This one is fantastic because it uses simple future tense structures like I'll be there for you and you can count on me. It's perfect for learning how to express future actions in a supportive way.
Next, Perfect by Ed Sheeran. It's full of descriptive language and uses the past simple tense. You'll hear expressions like, I found a love, and we were just kids. These phrases are great for talking about experiences and memories.
And of course, you can't go wrong with Let It Be by the Beatles. This song is full of encouraging phrases like, there will be an answer, let it be. It's a great example of using positive language to express hope, which is a big part of conversational English. Okay, so now that we've given you some great songs to start with, let's talk about how to use these songs to learn English effectively. Here's the trick. Listen to the song first, then follow along with the lyrics. Look up any words you don't understand. This will help you build vocabulary and understand the context of the words.
Exactly. Then, try singing along. Repeating the words in the same rhythm as the singer helps you practice pronunciation and intonation. Don't be afraid to get the words wrong at first. You'll get better the more you do it.
Another great tip is to write down a part of the song you really like. This helps reinforce the vocabulary and phrases you're learning. You could also practice writing your own sentences using the new words you've picked up from the song. This allows you to connect the language to real-world situations.
And remember, repetition is key. The more you listen, the more familiar the words and phrases will become. Plus, you'll start to feel like the song is part of your English experience, not just a lesson.
So as we've seen, learning English through songs isn't just fun, it's practical. You're practicing speaking, listening, and vocabulary all at once.
And the best part is, it doesn't feel like work. You're just having fun with your favorite songs.
Next up, we'll dive into how movies can work just as well for improving your English. When it comes to learning English, movies have a major advantage over traditional textbooks. Why? Because in movies, you're hearing real-life conversations. You're not just reading dry, isolated sentences. You're experiencing the language in its natural setting. You hear genuine dialogue with emotions, slang, and idioms. It's a direct connection to how native speakers actually use the language in everyday situations.
Exactly. And the best part is, movies show you the language in context. You see characters expressing emotions, using body language, and reacting to different situations. This helps you understand the meaning of words even if you don't know them immediately. You can guess the meaning from the situation, which builds your ability to deduce meaning naturally.
Now, let's talk about some great movies for English learners, especially for beginners or intermediate learners. The right film can make learning fun and engaging.
Let's start with The Intern. This movie is wonderful because it's gentle, with clear pronunciation and a nice flow of everyday language. The vocabulary used in the office environment, such as mentor, deadline, and collaborate, is great for learning words you'll use in a professional setting.
Next, we have Paddington, the charming bear who moves to London. This movie is perfect for all ages and uses simple language that's easy to follow. Plus, the accent is very clear, and the film's tone is friendly and light. You'll learn words like adventure, family, and kindness, which are great for everyday conversations.
Finally, The Pursuit of Happiness, a powerful, emotional film. Watching Will Smith's character fight for his dreams will not only inspire you, but it also helps with remembering emotional vocabulary like hope, struggle, and success. The language here is also very clear, and the story will stay with you long after the credits roll.
Each of these films provides something different: workplace language, casual conversation, and emotional vocabulary, making them perfect for learning new words in a variety of contexts.
Now, Let's get into the best techniques for learning English through movies. The first thing to remember is to watch short segments. Don't try to watch the entire movie in one go. Instead, pick a 1 to 2 minute scene that you enjoy or that has a conversation you want to understand better.
Great tip. And here's the next part. Watch without subtitles first. Try to understand the general meaning of the scene based on context. After that, turn on the subtitles and see how much you understood. This helps you practice listening skills and reading comprehension at the same time.
Then, here comes the fun part, shadowing. As you watch the scene with subtitles, repeat the dialogue right after the characters. Try to mimic their tone, their rhythm, and their intonation. This helps your pronunciation and helps you sound more natural when you speak.
Exactly. And another effective technique is to write down interesting phrases or words you hear. Write them in a notebook and try to use them in your own sentences. For example, if you hear "take a risk" in the movie, write it down and try to use it later in your daily conversations.
And finally, try to retell the scene in your own words. After you've watched a segment, pause and summarize what you've seen, either by writing it down or speaking it out loud. This will boost your speaking skills and help you remember the vocabulary much better.
The more you practice with movies, the more you'll start thinking in English naturally. It's all about engaging with the language actively and using it in real-world situations.
All right, let's slow things down and take a moment to review some of the words we used today. Words that showed up naturally in our stories and examples.
Yeah, these aren't just random vocabulary. They came from real moments we shared. So let's go through them one by one. First up, lyrics. Lyrics are the words of a song. Example: I read the lyrics while listening to Let It Be.
And lyrics can carry a lot of meaning. You're not just hearing music, you're feeling language through the song's message. Next, accent. An accent is how someone pronounces words, depending on where they're from. Example: she has an American accent. He has a British one.
And both are great. The more accents you hear, the better your ears get at understanding English. Now this one's useful. Repeat exposure. It means hearing or seeing something many times. Example: repeat exposure helps me remember words better.
Right. The more often you hear a word in context, the more it sticks, without effort. Now, for a fun one, slang. Slang is informal language we use in casual talk. Example: no big deal is slang for it's okay.
Movies are full of it, and learning slang helps you sound more natural in conversations. Next up, immersion. It means surrounding yourself with English, music, shows, conversations. Example: I learn faster by living in English through immersion.
Exactly. It's not about studying harder, it's about making English part of your world. And from our dog story earlier, the word brave. Brave means doing something even when you're scared. Example: the brave dog saved a family from a fire.
That story made the word unforgettable, right? And finally, loyal. Loyal means staying true to someone or something. Example: the dog was loyal and never left its family.
See? Stories bring these words to life, not just their meaning, but their emotion too.
So next time you hear a new word in a story, pause and feel it.
Yes. Let it connect to an image, a feeling, a scene. That's how real learning happens.
And that's it for today's Vocabulary Corner.
Now let's move on to the next part of the podcast. We've learned that songs, movies, and stories are not just entertainment. They are powerful learning tools. Through music, we connect words with rhythm. Through movies, we understand emotions and context. And through stories, we remember words because they become part of a meaningful narrative. Because when something makes you feel something, you don't forget it. That's the key. Think about a movie or a song that's touched your heart. You probably still remember the lyrics or the lines from that movie. That's because the brain remembers emotions better than it remembers abstract facts.
Exactly. This is why learning through emotion is so powerful. It's not about memorizing dry words from a list. It's about feeling the language, connecting with it, and making it yours. And when you do that, it sticks in your memory naturally, almost without effort.
You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Every step counts, no matter how small it seems. Whether you're listening to a song or watching a movie in English, you're making progress.
One song, one movie line, one short story. That's enough to begin. You don't have to become fluent in a day. It's the small, consistent steps that make all the difference.
And just like you don't need to finish an entire book to feel inspired, one good sentence can stay with you forever. That's how learning works. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency, curiosity, and passion for the journey.
Every time you connect with a song or a movie, you're building your English. It's all part of the process, and you're doing great. As the great musician B.B. King once said, "The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you."
So tonight, play a song in English. Write down one word that touches your heart.
That one word could open a door to many more. Every little step is progress. Keep going. You're on the right path. And remember, learning English is a journey. Take it step by step and enjoy the process. We're cheering you on.
Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next episode.